Don't make the mistake of taking off your honey before it's capped over and at the proper moisture content. If you do, something bad's gonna happen. Hi, I'm David Burns, EAS Certified Master Beekeeper. Today, with the help of a refractometer, we're going to take a look at how you can determine if your honey supers are ready to take off your hive. So these are some of the frames that I've brought in to extract. I've got a whole bunch of supers to extract from. Now this is a good frame that we are actually going to test today because we have the capped over honey here, which will take a moisture level reading in. We have the uncapped, and so we're going to take a moisture level there and compare these two and see how much different they are. It'll be interesting. Open nectar and cells versus capped over honey. Here are the instruments I'll be using today. I'll be using a refractometer. I'll be using a small screwdriver and a small little suction dauber that I can pick up some honey out of the cells with. Now, all these three things actually came with the $30 refractometer. This is actually an adjustment screw if you need to adjust it. So let's take a look and see what the measurements are. Now this is called nectar because it has not been capped over yet. Once the nectar is capped over, then we actually call it honey. That's probably enough. If not, we'll get a little bit more. So what you do once you have your honey is you just put a few drops of it right on this little blue area. That actually sucked up a lot more than I thought. Well, let's hope that's enough. And then you simply close the lid. Let's see if that is enough. I think so. Close this little thing, kind of press down on it, and then you look through here to get a reading. So what I'm going to try to do is see if the camera will cooperate with me showing you what you see when you look inside. So in our case, it's about roughly just below 21%. You can see it there. Almost about 21%. So it's a high 20%er. Okay, so now I'm going to carefully try to open up some. There are several ways you can do that. You can kind of dig a hole and take it out. In our case, we can actually poke our finger in here like this, and it will cause, you see, the honey to ooze out. And then we can just get a bunch on our fingertip like that. It's way too much. And then we can just put some on the refractometer screen in the middle like this. Plenty. More than enough. Close it. Press down a little bit to smear it like that. And then let's take a reading. So this time, this reading, this is hard to do with a cell phone camera and trying to poke it through the refractometer. It's about 19.5. So you can tell there's not a big difference between what we had on the open nectar and the capped honey. So what we've seen in our little study that we did, we actually took some nectar out of an open cell from a honey super frame. We tested it, and it came out to be in the high 20s. And then we pressed some honey out of some cap over cells in a honey super frame, same frame. And we actually tested that, and we came up with the mid-19. So we have about 19.5% moisture versus maybe, let's say, 20.9, 20.8, 20.9. Not a big difference, actually. And taken in consideration, you're going to have more of the low moisture content versus the open capped nectar. And then when you mix it all together, you're going to get closer to the drier measurement. Now, one thing to consider is that nectar sources can make a difference as well. There are some nectar that the bees gather and make honey out of that will always have a higher moisture content. Normally we say we want our moisture content around 18%. But in our case, as we just looked into these frames, not going to happen. They're already a little bit past 19, just 1%. But in my experience, and over a couple of decades of working with honey, when it's high like that and I mix it together, I can keep it on the shelf forever and it never ferments. I think once you get past 21, 22 especially, that's when you run the risk of fermentation. But you've seen how we can use a refractometer to give us a better idea on how much moisture content are in these frames. Now, let's do something fun. Let's go out to a hive and actually take a measurement out of a hive that has some open cells in it. So this is the same hive that I made my last video out of. A little bit shorter. I captured some honey and I needed some boxes, but they're still capping over some of the nectar that wasn't fully capped over yet. So why not kind of have fun and see what percentage is this uncapped honey, which is still nectar. We need to take a look and see. It's about 7:30 at night, and I don't want to use any smoke. Just going to go in there and get a quick sample, get out. Let's see if that goes well or not. I would not recommend you do this at home. Always use a smoker to calm your bees. I may regret this. Colonies are a little more defensive when they have more nectar or honey and brood to protect. Hey, they went right for your camera. Went right after you guys. I wish I had some smoke. I wish I probably should have lit a smoker up. I should have probably had a smoker going. You should never do this. Maybe I can work in slow motion. Let me come around on your side and we'll just get the camera a little closer like this. And we'll just see if we can pull up a frame that's not capped over just enough so that we can take out a sample of honey or nectar. So all we're looking for is just a little bit of nectar. I'm approaching carefully because I don't like getting stung. And I'm going to choose, I don't know which one may be a perfect one to pull up, but let's go for this one. Again, work in slow motion. The propolis is a little sticky because indeed it's later in the day. Oh, that's dry. It means it's just in the corner. It doesn't have a good presentation of nectar. So I'm going to lift it up a little higher. Again, I'm just going to work in slow motion. Very slow. Try not to make a lot of bumping noises. The temperament of a colony is remarkably different when you actually use smoke. I've got a cell picked out that a bee just walked on top of. I got it. Now before we do anything about this hive, let's walk over here where our refractometer is. And let's see what it's going to read out to be. To be honest with you, it seemed pretty wet. Whoop. All right. All right, so let's take a look now and see what the moisture content is. Wow, look at that. So it is over 26% moisture. Again, my apologies for trying to get this set up in the camera just right, but it's made for the human eyeball, not the camera. We're at about 26.5%. So, if we go back and take a look at the hive in question here, this one here, we just took a sample of the nectar in the top of this hive that we're looking at now. That nectar that we're looking at, glistening right there, is over 26% moisture content. Way too high. So this is just a way that you can keep sampling it. Is it ever possible that this would become, say, the right moisture content but not be capped over? Possible, but it isn't the best way ever to really depend on that. Watch that go down by itself. I have an automatic hive. You just kind of let the frame go back down automatically. I'm kidding, people. So, no, you do want to wait until things are capped over. That's the best thing. The presentation of the video is just if you find yourself with a partially capped over frame and you're wondering if it's okay to go ahead and use the rest. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you here. So by sampling the opened nectar cells, you can see that the ones we did inside were very close to honey ready, and where this is certainly not. What I'm using in today's video is a refractometer. It's a portable one. It's a refractometer, some little tools to help you take moisture content samples from your hive or from your super frames. The amazing thing about this is we sell it in our store for 28 bucks. Under $30, you can have a blast of a time. Let's open this up, see what the moisture content is in a jar of honey. I'll keep this for myself. So there's honey on the bottom of this lid. I don't have to stick my finger in the jar. I'll just get a little bit of honey off the lid here. Place it on the refractometer. Just a little bit. Smush it down. The neat thing about it, you get to lick your fingers a lot. You can see here, we are at about just a hair over 19. So a hair over 19, again, is very acceptable. Hey guys, thanks for watching my YouTube video on how to determine if your honey is at the proper moisture content. A lot of fun stuff today that we did. I hope it's been helpful to you. Just make sure that when you extract your honey, that you're taking it off the hive at the proper moisture content. You can cheat just a tiny bit, as we've determined, but you don't want to cheat a lot. If you do, you'll get too much moisture in your honey. It will ferment and actually have a bad vinegary taste and your customers will bring it back and want a refund. So make sure that your honey is indeed honey of the proper moisture content. Thanks so much for watching my YouTube videos. Please subscribe over in the corner. We are gaining subscribers all the time, and I do appreciate it so much. Also, I want to let you know, give me a thumbs up and let me know you appreciate this video. It encourages me to make more videos, so I appreciate that. Also, August the 1st of every year, we begin taking orders for our famous original Winter Be Kind. It's a little feeding system with insulation and food and minerals and vitamins to help your bees make it through the winter. I invented it and it's awesome. And so that's going to be going on sale August the 1st of every year. It ships out in November. It's an item that has to be shipped in cooler weather. It's an item for winter to help your bees get through the winter. It is phenomenal. My customers love it so much. So we appreciate the support of our Winter Be Kind product. Also, I want to let you know that you can always take online classes. I have made, I think, up to 6, 7, 8, 9 different courses now online pertaining to beekeeping. And they're videos that you can watch from the comfort of your home on any smartphone, tablet, computer, and enjoy it. You can pause it, watch it later. You don't have the travel expense of going to a class, hotel, food, and all that. We do offer on-site courses in our training center behind me if that's something that you prefer. You can always take our How to Get Your Bees Through the Winter class. That's coming up. And you can take it online as well. Again, thanks for watching. See you next time.